Welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I am Samira Ibrahim. Here are your top stories for today. Troops kill suspected bandit, arrest Nigerian illegal arms dealers. Southern Kaduna leaders plot killings to enrich themselves. Magu's fate uncertain as panel summit interim report. On business, food prices highest in Zamfara, Kogi and Yobe states. And on the international scene, remains of over 100 Rwandan genocide victims exhumed. Now the news in details. Operation Sahel Sanity, a component of the military, has revealed that its troops have neutralized 3 notorious armed bandits, arrested over 9 and busted a syndicate of illegal arms dealers in Sokoto, Katsina and Zamfara states. Addressing youthmen at the Special Army Super Camp 4 in Faskari, Katsina State, the acting director, Defense Media Operation, Brigadier General Bernard Onyeko, explained that all the arrested illegal arms dealers are citizens of Niger Republic. According to the Army spokesman, on August 15, 2020, after a painstaking undercover operation, troops successfully smashed the notorious illegal arms smuggling syndicate, who he said specializes in massive arms supply to bandits in the northwest from across the international borders.
Our gallant troops of Operation Sahel Sanity deployed at Forward Operation Base, Sabombrini local government area of Sokoto State on 15 August 2020. After a painstaking undercover operation, successfully smashed a notorious illegal arms smuggling syndicate who specialized in massive arms supply to bandits in the northwest from across international borders. The trio of Alhaji Adamu Al-Hassan, Salisu Adamu and Abdullah Hisani, all of them are Nigerian citizens, were intercepted by the eagle-eyed troops at Dantudu in Malailai district of Sabombrini local government area of Sokoto State. Items recovered from these enemies of the country are 6 AK-47 rifles, 3 AK-47 rifle magazines, and 2,415 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, deceptively concealed in various parts of their vehicle.
Brigadier General Onyeko explained that preliminary investigation reveals that the dangerous consignment was meant for some bandits in Isa local government area of Sokoto State, which he said could have led to the loss of thousands of innocent lives, but for the swift interception by the vigilant troops. The police in Zamfara have confirmed the abduction of 4 persons by armed bandits in the early hours of Tuesday at the Bakura private residence of the immediate past Commissioner of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Alhaji Bello Nkande Gamji, Walim Bakura. This was contained in a press release signed by the Police Command Public Relations Officer SP Shehu Muhammad and made available to newsmen in Gusau. The command spokesman also disclosed that the heavily armed gunmen who invaded the residence at around 5 a.m. also killed 1 person before going away with 2 family members, a woman and an officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. The command, however, assured that a well-armed operatives, including those in plain clothes and those in uniform, have been deployed to the bushes in the area in order to rescue the victims. The defense headquarters says the troops of Operation Whistle Punch have eliminated an unspecified number of armed bandits in an encounter at Station Kari in Niger State. The coordinator of Defense Media Operations, John Eniche, a Major General, in a statement on Monday, said the success was in continuation of aggressive clearance operation to rid the north central of criminal elements. Mr. Eniche said the troops acted based on credible intelligence on the attack by bandits. He said troops swiftly mobilized to the scene and made contact with the bandits. The gallant troops engaged the armed bandits with superior firepower, killing unspecified numbers, while others fled in disarray into the bushes. Sadly, troops suffered 3 casualties, while 2 others were wounded in action. The military high command congratulates the gallant troops for their professionalism and encourages them to intensify the onslaught against the enemies of the country. The chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, Kayode Fayemi, says governors are in support of judicial autonomy, although the challenge is how it will be implemented. Mr. Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State, made this known on Monday in Ado-Ekiti when he received a newly elected president of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA), Olumide Opata, in his office. The governor said he had led a delegation on behalf of the forum to the Chief of Justice of Nigeria, CJN Tanko Mohammed, and the President of the Court of Appeal, Monica Doban Memsan, on the matter. He said the meeting was aimed at reaching a common front on the modalities for the implementation of new policy across the country. Governors, he said, believe that judicial reform remains the engine room of any democracy and necessary reforms must be undertaken to promote the rule of law. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has accused southern Kaduna leaders of inciting trouble in the area in order to reap financial benefits. Mr. El-Rufai condemned the leaders of the area during an interview on Channels Television's program Sunday Politics. He stated that the elites of the southern part of the state takes only their conclusion on dialogue to heart whether true or false. According to El-Rufai, they stick to it, and anyone that says something to the contrary has taken side, even among themselves. Governor El-Rufai said in an interview that the region's leaders have been employing the same tactics for over 20 years in order to get brown envelopes. The Council of Imams and Ulama in Kaduna State has accused the Nigerian media of being biased in their reportage about the killings in southern Kaduna State. While addressing a press conference on Monday, Yusuf Yakubu, Secretary General of the Council, said although the media was known to be truthful, what obtained was allegedly the contrary, as the media practitioners of health ethics and religious sentiment in their reportage. No person of good conscience, Muslim or any religious believer, will overlook the recent killings of over 100 innocent Muslims and destruction of their property and settlements in different locations within southern Kaduna. He alleged that the killings and destruction were carried out by suspected sponsored Christian militias in southern Kaduna. The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Tribunal on Monday nullified the election that produced candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Senator Doyo Diri, as governor and his deputy Lawrence. The panel sitting in Abuja upheld that the election was unlawful due to the exclusion of ADP and its candidate King George from the November 16th governorship election. The ANDP claimed that the party was unlawfully excluded from the election. In a split judgment of 2-1, the 3-man panel ruled that INEC does not have the power to disqualify any candidate for an election. INEC in its argument said that the party's deputy governorship candidate was 34-year-old as at the time of nomination and therefore did not qualify to contest the election. Governor of Bayelsa State, Doye Diri, has urged party members and supporters across the country to remain calm and law-abiding after the Tribunal of Bayelsa State gubernatorial election announced his appointment as void. The governor, in a press statement through his acting chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, on the 17th of August, stated that he has ordered his lawyers to appeal to the tribunal ruling. Governor Diri, who spoke shortly after the tribunal ruled that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) wrongly excluded the Advanced Nigerian Democratic Party (ENDP) governorship candidate from the November 16, 2019 election, said he has implicit confidence in the judiciary that he will trump in the end. He said they trust in the judiciary and they are appealing the judgment, adding that with God on their side, they will get justice. A heated argument on the details of the $500 million Chinese loans to Nigeria has forced the committee of the House of Representatives to a 30-minute break. The Committee on Loans, Treaties and Protocols, chaired by Honorable Nicholas Ose, has started on friendly notes featuring the interrogation of the Director General Debt Management Office, Mrs. Patience Oniha, on details of the loans. It then progressed to the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, who was represented by Permanent Secretary Special Duties, Aliyu Ahmed. The proceeding later panned the Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi. Questions put to him by the chair of the committee on the local content component of the loan agreement were written in a monosyllabic answers without details. However, Amechi said that the activities of the lawmakers will hinder the acquisition of the loans to finance the South-South Rail projects. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has sent a petition to the National Human Rights Commission over 20-month unpaid salaries by Governor Okezi Ikpeazu of Abia State. Anderson Ezebe, National President of ASUP, stated this in a letter addressed to the Executive Secretary of the Commission and made available to newsmen in Abuja. Mr. Ezebe said that the governor had refused to pay salaries to its members in Abia State Polytechnic, ABA, for the past 20 months. The Secretary General said they are compelled to bring to the attention of the Commission the refusal of the Abia State government, proprietor of the institution, governing council and management of the Abia State Polytechnic, ABA, to honor its contractual obligations to their members in the institution for a cumulative period of 20 months. The initial 45-day mandate of the Justice Ayo Salami-led panel investigating the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, will collapse without Magu responding to the allegations leveled against him by interested parties that appeared before the panel. Newsmen gathered that Magu was set to present his defense against the 12-point allegations of financial impropriety leveled against him by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. The suspended acting chairman of the EFCC was only served a copy of the terms of reference of the panel 33 days after its inauguration, prompting his lawyers to protest against the unfair treatment meted out to him. Justice Salami had in one of the proceedings assured Magu of the determination of the panel to accord him fair hearing. It was, however, gathered that the panel will continue sitting after the submission of the interim report to President Muhammadu Buhari as contained in the instrument setting of the panel. The federal government of Nigeria has announced the reopening of international airport. Senator Hadi Sirika, Minister for Aviation, announced that international flights will begin function from the 29th of August 2020. The minister stated that the Lagos International Airport will first be reopened, then the Abuja International Airport follows. The airports have been closed since March 23rd to all but essential international flights as part of the country's effort to combat the new coronavirus. A total of 24,545 exit students on Monday began their West African Examination Council (WAEC) in Kano State amid strict adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. The news agency of Nigeria now reports that 11,400 of the 27,454 students were from public schools, while the remaining 16,460 registered for the examination in private schools in the state. The examination was being conducted in 538 designated centers in the state. A non-correspondent who monitored the examination at some of the centers reports that the schools had put in place measures to facilitate compliance to the COVID-19 guidelines. Some of the schools visited include Rumfa College, Government Senior Secondary School, Sabuwar Kofa, Kano Capital Schools, and Governors College, Kano. At the entrance of the visited schools, Hand-washing facilities such as soap, hand sanitizer, water and infrared thermometer devices were provided, while students and other visitors were subjected to temperature checks. On business, over to Agwai Rita.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The prices of food items rose highest in Zamfara, Kogi, and Yobe states in Nigeria in July. The Consumer Price Index released on Monday by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics has shown. The report revealed that between June and July, food prices inflation was highest in Zamfara at 3.40%, Kogi at 3.32%, and Yobe at 3.00% in July. On the other hand, Niger and Ogun State recorded 0.44%, Lagos 0.41%, with Adamawa recording a general decrease in the general price level of food. The report said food inflation between July 2019 and July 2020 was highest in Kogi at 20.09%, Sokoto at 19.28%, and Plateau at 18.05% in July. In Adamawa, it was 13.37%, Abia 13.33%, and Lagos 13.13% recorded the lowest price. According to the report, the headline Consumer Price Index between July rose by 1.25% compared to 1.21% in June. Costs increased by 12.82% between July 2019 and July 2020. The MBS said the food sub-index rose by 15.48% in July, compared to 15.18% in July 2019. The food sub-index increased by 1.52% in July, compared to 1.48% recorded in June. And that is all on Standard Voice Business Updates. I'm Agwai Rita.
And on the international scene, remains of more than 100 victims of the 1994 Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi have been exhumed in the Rwandan capital city, Kigali, Survivors Organization said on Monday. Mesango Rutayisiri, the head of Ibuka, the umbrella organization of Genocide Survivors Association of Rwanda, said this at the news conference in Kigali. The remains were discovered from a pit at the backyard of a house in Nyarugenge district, which belongs to a former notorious Interahamwe militia member. The remains were discovered after a local resident who had occupants of the house talking about the whereabouts of the mass grave informed the authorities. The search for the remains, which started last week, is still ongoing, with 2 more pits expected to be dug out. He added that the occupants were arrested on suspicion of concealing information on the remains. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Troops kill suspected bandit, arrest Nigerian illegal arms dealers. Southern Kaduna leaders plot killings to enrich themselves. Magu's fate uncertain as panel submit interim report. On business, food prices highest in Zamfara, Kogi and Yobe states. And on the international scene, remains of over 100 Rwandan genocide victims exhumed. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatunau, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.